Hey, what is up again? I'm back again with another video because I have something else I wanted to talk about, and the title of this video is going to be about sex appeal and, how to attract the right man or woman into your life. And this is not a professional video. This is not me trying to be a dating coach or anything. This is just from my experience and, my personal opinion, I'm very, very, very picky when it comes to dating and when it comes to dealing with men because, it's really hard to come across men that exude sex appeal. And sex appeal has nothing to do with looks, you know what I'm saying? It has something to do with looks, but not really, because for me, what I find attractive in a man is completely different, from any other woman. Not really, but what I find attractive about a man is different from anybody else, because what may be sexy to me probably is ugly to you. But it's so hard to come across men that exude they have a certain confidence to themselves, like a guy that is just like he's a man's man, like. And it's really so hard to explain, because when I see it, and I know when I see it in a guy, I'm just like, yo, yeah, he's that nigga, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of men, there are a lot of men that have trouble getting women, that have trouble keeping women, that have trouble pleasing women, that have trouble, making a woman happy. And part of it has to do with, of course, I would know what makes a woman happy because I'm a woman and I know what women like. But a lot of guys, a lot of them are just so stuck on, they don't really care about how a woman feels, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of men can be very selfish, a lot of men can be very selfish. They can be selfish because a lot of men, they don't want to spend money on women. And this all goes into, because you have so many men out here, that are really struggling to get the women that they want. And it's really just so easy, to get the woman that you want, you know what I'm saying? But none of these men, they don't want to put in the work, you know what I'm saying? I am putting in work to look good. I put in work to look good, you know what I'm saying? I get up, I do, it's really like a daily routine for me, and it really is nothing that anybody should skip out on. But I get up and I like to look a certain way. I do my makeup. I try to dress up every single day. I try not to go a day without not dressing up. But some days I'm just lounging in the house, so I don't really feel a need to be all glammed up and dolled up. But when I look good, I feel good. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I do it, I go out my way to look good and put makeup on and use all different type of skin products, because, looking good makes me feel good. And when I feel like, if I feel ugly, if I feel like I don't look good, then I just don't feel right. But, you have a lot of men that are struggling, with getting the woman that they want. And this goes for the men that don't have, a natural swag to them, they're not charismatic, they're not, alphas, you know what I'm saying? They're not ladies men, but you know, you have a lot of those men, you know, that really do not care about pleasing a woman, or you know, what makes a woman happy. You know, what is going to make this chick that I'm trying to pursue, what is going to make her happy? You know, what is going to make her, you know, want to be a good wife? You know, what is going to make her want to be a traditional woman? What is going to make her want to be, you know, a better woman or a better person? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like when it comes down to relationships and stuff like that, you know, a lot of people get into relationships and they kind of like, you know, lose sight of themselves or the whole relationship, because I feel like when you get with somebody, they should motivate you, you know, into wanting to be the best version of yourself, into wanting to be a better woman, into wanting to be a better man. And if you get with somebody and you feel like the relationship is not going nowhere, and you feel like you don't feel like you're becoming a better person, and you feel like, and if you start to feel like, you know, your life has gotten worse by being with that person, then you don't need to be with them. You know, when you get into a relationship, you know, I feel like your life should elevate. You know what I'm saying? Everything that, you know, that you want, or the things that make you happy, it's just a certain way that you want to feel in a relationship. And if you don't feel that way, and if you feel like your partner is bringing you down, you don't need to be with that person. And you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not in a relationship because I feel like, you know, it goes beyond money. It goes beyond looks. But, you know, personality and your personality and sex appeal and the way you carry yourself and how ambitious you are and what type of man you are, you know, that all sets the tone. And if I get with somebody, you know, I want to be able to feel like I would want to be a better person, you know, not only just for myself, but for my partner too, you know. And if they're not uplifting you, and if they don't make you feel like, you know, like you, I don't know, if they don't make you feel good, then you just don't need to be with them. But a lot of men, you know, they just don't really care to understand women. They don't care to understand women at all. Like, and I feel like, you know, there's such a shortage of good black men, you know, men in the black community. It's just not a lot of black men. It's not a lot of good, manly men out there, you know what I'm saying? You know, a guy that just, you know, handles his shit, you know, that does what he needs to do for his woman and his family. You know, there's just not a lot of men out there like that, you know what I'm saying? And it's because a lot of these guys, they just refuse to work on themselves. So I don't understand how you have these men that say that they want to be married. I'm like, you say you want to be married and you want a good woman, but you don't act like you want a good woman. You don't act like you want a woman that's beautiful, you know? You don't act like you want a woman that's in shape. You don't act like you want a woman that is a traditional woman, that cooks, that cleans, and, you know, that, you know, that's genuinely a good person, a nice person. Y'all don't act like it, because if you really wanted it, then you will put the work in, you know, to get what you want. But, you know, a lot of men are just lazy and they don't really want to do the work it takes in order to get what they want. And that's what's really going to set you back. You know what I'm saying? If you don't work on yourself, you don't work on your self-esteem, you don't work on what's going on inside of you, you don't work on, you know, your physical appearance, then your life is going to suck. And I'm just being 100% honest. It's going to suck. And a lot of times you have to sacrifice in order to get what you want, but it's all worth it. You know what? Know what I'm saying? It's worth it. Like, recently, I just told myself that I wanted to save money, you know, because I want to save money in order to, you know, buy some things or some things that I really need. So I just told myself, like, you know what? I'm going to stop spending my money on unnecessary things like food, you know. You know, I figured, like, you know, I'll just eat home cooked meals or whatever, or I'll eat food in my house, but I'm not going to go out and I'm not going to order food or dine out, because I feel like that was taking a huge chunk of my money, and I wasn't really able to save, you know, for what I really needed. So recently I just did that, and it's really hard. It's not easy. It's hard to do. But, you know, I realized that, you know, if I want to make my life better, you know, you're going to have to sacrifice, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of these men are just lazy ass bums. And I'm not saying all of them, because I don't know all of them, but this is just my opinion, and this is how I feel. So, you know, you can't get mad at me because I feel this way, you know, but this is my life, and this is what I experience personally. So you can't tell me that I'm wrong. And I don't see no man out on these streets, at least in New York. I'll say in New York, I don't see any man on these streets that'll make me want to fuck them. I don't run into men on a daily basis that make my coochie wet. I don't see men that makes me like, damn, like, you know, who is that? Like, I wonder what he's like. You know what I'm saying? I don't see no men out there that makes me think that way, you know. And this is just how I know that a lot of these guys are lazy ass bums that ain't good for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, you know, what the fuck is going on? Like, where is the real nigga? Where is he? And this is the reason why, you know, this is the reason why you have women that compete over men, because it's not easy coming across, you know, an alpha, you know, who not only is pleasing to the eye, but, you know, who is good in bed, you know, brings in a good income to take care of a family, somebody that's ambitious, somebody that's charming, somebody that's mysterious, you know, somebody that's, you know, an all-around good dude, you know what I'm saying? And I just don't see that out here. So, you know, competition, you're gonna have to come out. You're gonna have to compete. Ladies, like, if you want a good dude, you know, a nigga that make your coochie wet, that make you want to do backflips and cartwheels in the bedroom, you know, you're gonna have to compete. You're gonna have to step your game up. You're gonna have to really level up, because otherwise you're just gonna get the bottom of the barrel type of niggas. So if you want that top 20% or whatever that's close to that, you're gonna have to put in some work, you know, to, you know, work on your body, work on your physical fitness, you know, work on, you know, step your game up. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you're just gonna be dealing with these lazy ass bums that don't want to do nothing, that don't want to be providers for women. You know, that's what you're gonna be dealing with, pretty much. But, you know, I just don't. When I was a kid, when I was a kid, you know, I saw a lot of, you know, good men, you know, a lot of attractive men, you know, that just stood out and was just really sexy and mysterious and hardworking and gentlemen, and, you know, they were men. But, you know, in today's day and age, you don't see that shit. You don't see that shit at all. So I have people ask me like, yo, why you not in a relationship? Why you ain't got no man? Because these niggas do not make my coochie wet. And I don't want to be with no nigga that can't make my coochie wet. I'm not that desperate. I'm not that lonely. I'm just not putting up with it. I ain't putting up with it at all. I just don't understand that shit, but